Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vedya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru. Yatha sarvani bhutani pratibhanti stitani cha yatra evo bhashamam yanti tasmai satyatmane namaha. So do we have Deepa?
Yes, namaste, I'm here.
Namaste. So where are we in our text?
We're in chapter 17, number 11-12. It's on page 170.
I'll need a minute just to scroll down. I have a digital copy, just a second.
That's okay. Who else do we have online tonight?
Nobody else.
Just those chickens.
What's the title of the chapter? Does anyone know?
Close attachment. Oh, the whole chapter? The manner of destruction of the mind. And then the section is called close attachment.
Okay, thank you. I'm at chapter 8. I've done half the scrolling. Okay, let me do more. Chapter 16.
2 more.
Coming. Manner of the destruction of the mind. Okay. And okay.
11-12.
Found it. Should I start?
Please.
Shri Rama Vacha Kidrisho Bhagavan Sango Nrinam Bandhaya Kidrisha Kidrisho Vapi Mokshaya Katham Chaisha Chikatsyate. Revered sage, of what nature is attachment? Of what sort is it that causes the bondage of men? Of what sort is it that causes liberation? And how is this cured?
Great questions. Let's see what the answer is.
Also, just checking in, I know Priya had offered to chant in English. Do you want to chant in English or would you like me to?
You're fine. Let's let you do it.
Okay. Vasishtha Vacha Deha Dehi Vibhagaika Parityagena Bhavanat Deha Matre Tu Vishwasa Sango Bandharha Uchyate. By the sole repudiation of the division, between the body and the embodied or the soul, on account of supposition or conception, the faith in the mere body is called attachment, deserving of bondage.
Yes. So the truth is the body is always an object of cognition. We watch it grow and change, get sick or get well, get fat or get skinny. We know it the way we know a book in our hands, the way we know the bowl on the table. But the attachment to the body, the deeply rooted conviction, I am the body. That's the bija vasana, the seed attachment from which all egoism springs. And it's the most difficult to break. Any thoughts? Next verse.
Atmaiva khalvidam sarvam kim grihami tyajami kim ityasangasthitiam vidhi jivan muktatva mutthitam. All this is indeed the self only. What do I take? What do I give up? No such a state of non-attachment as the lofty nature of the liberated while living.
Atme kalvidam. Kalu, verily. All this is verily the self. The knower is the self, and the objects of cognition are merely consciousness appearing as name and form. They're like a big hologram. They come about by means of imagination, sankalpena. Don't worry. Watch the movie go by. This is conducive to liberation. Any thoughts? Going on.
Nabhinandati naishkarmyam na karmasvanuradhyate susumo ya phalatyagi so samsakta iti smrita. One who does not rejoice in inactivity, nor is bound to actions, who is thoroughly even in his outlook, and who gives up the desire for the fruits of action, he is regarded as unattached.
Yes. So let's parse it down here. A whole series of practices. We may not be able to do them all at once, but we can take one of them for today and work on it. Always remember, we can only do our yoga one day at a time. Yesterday's yoga doesn't count. Tomorrow's yoga doesn't exist. So let's take these ideas one at a time. The first one.
One who does not rejoice in inactivity.
Yes. So we act in the world according to our swadharma, our prakriti, our niyatam karmas. Do our duty. Hopefully, we've done enough study of chapters 3, 4, and 5 of Gita that we've got ourselves to some degree aligned with our own proclivities. So we find some satisfaction in the work we're doing. We're not fighting it all the time. You have a right to do what you love. And if you're in a position where you cannot do what you love, we work on learning to love what we're doing. With no sense of agency, I am not the doer. It's guna and karma. It's prarabdha karma. Don't get overly emotionally involved with it all. Next idea.
Nor is bound to actions.
Yes. So the first one, we can't gain freedom by running away from the world. Nor can we gain freedom by thinking if I just do virtuous deeds, that's going to fix it. In pop psychology, we have the statement, if you want to build self-esteem, do esteemable actions. There's some truth to that, but it's a partial truth. It will only take us so far. Will not gain freedom by being a goody-goody. And you certainly won't gain freedom by being a rascal. Any thoughts? Next one.
Who is thoroughly even in his outlook and who gives up the desire for the fruits of actions.
Yes. This samadrishta, this equality of vision. Having an interest in what comes down the pike. Oh, isn't this an interesting experience? Don't take it seriously. And no attachment to the outcome. How do we do this? With a clear understanding that it's all guna and karma. We're going to get our allotted dose of successes and failures, wins and losses, ups and downs, praise and censure. But maintain that samadrishta, that equality of vision. Always acting in the world, letting go of our attachment to the fruits. Next idea.
He is regarded as unattached.
Yes, this is true on attachment. Not running away from the world. Next verse.
Asam sangena sarvashva cheshthana vijrimbata chikitsita bhavantyeva shreya sampadayanti cha. By non-attachment, all actions manifested in various ways become cured of their binding influence and produce good.
Yes. So when we have no attachment to the outcome of events, when I have no identification with the sense of agency, actions do not bind us. Meaning, for the ordinary person, they do an action and it's successful, then they have after the fact rumination on it. Oh, that was pretty good. Aren't I hot stuff? I should try doing that again. Or the other. Well, that was a big failure. I'll never do that again. I'm terrible. Remember the story of the three super demons. No chintya, after the fact rumination over events. Just let the past go. Move on to the next moment of now. Any thoughts on this? Next one.
Bhutani yattanantani tarangini tarangavat utpatyotpatyaliyante tatsamsakti vijrambhitam. Infinite number of beings repeatedly spring up and vanish as waves on the sea. Such a thing is displayed on account of close attachment.
So that's the way the Lord has set up the universe because of Maya Shakti. Beings come into the world not knowing who they are. Then they have Jiva Bhavana, an identification with the little self. That always feels incomplete. And then desire arises. Get stuff from the world or fix myself. That's what makes the world go round. It's not evil or bad, but it's certainly painful. Any thoughts? Next one.
Samsakti dvividha prokta Vandhya Vandhya cha Raghava Vandhya Sarvatra Mudhanam Vandhya Tattva Vidam Nija. Attachment is said to be of two kinds, Raghava, the barren or useless, and the commendable. The barren one is of the foolish everywhere, and the commendable one is innate to knowers of truth or reality.
So let's see what he says. Where should we park the mind? Where is its proper home? Let's see what he says.
Next shloka.
Please.
Atma Tattva Hina Deha Dvivasuja Bhuya Samsara Satkirya Drida Vandyeti Kapthyate. Bereft of the knowledge of the true nature of the self, and caused by objects like the body, that firm and very great attachment to worldly life is declared as barren.
Yes. So as I dive deeply into the world, the more I want it, the harder I have to struggle. And then when I get it, if I get it, that doesn't make the pain go away. Then I immediately want something else or different. It's an unsatisfying way to live. We take it out of the realm of morality. In yoga, we are not punished for our sins. We are punished by our sins. If you live an extroverted life in the world, you're perfectly free to do so. We will gladly refund your misery. Knock yourself out. But none of us are kids. And we have all lived lives attached to the things of this world. And yoga says, how's that working out for you? Are you satisfied? Are you at peace? Going on.
आत्मतत्त्वावबोधेन सत्यभूतविवेकजा वन्द्या हि कथ्यते सक्ति भूय samsara. That attachment is indeed declared as commendable, which is born of the discrimination between the truth or reality and the world made of the five elements, on account of the knowledge of the true nature of the self. It is destitute of the course of worldly life again.
Yes. So here is the secret that the scripture is saying. The mind needs to be attached to something. Again, I go back to my favorite verse from Gita, chapter 2, verse 55. When a person casts off all the desires of the mind, O Partha. Oh, okay. Now everything just tastes like ashes. But that's only half of it. Then Krishna goes on to say, and is satisfied in the self, by the self. Yogi has that trick to be able to just abandon the world and come home. The mind can revel in the self. That's why I have the little image there of Hanuman embracing Ram. That's true attachment. It's where the mind belongs. St. Augustine of Hippo says it so beautifully, his very famous statement. Thou hast made us for thyself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it finds its rest in thee. I promise you a life of dissatisfaction and misery until you come home. It's not because I'm mean. I just know how it works. Any thoughts on this? Now, how a yogi revels in the self can vary. Chinmaya was a child of the Himalayas, the austere silence of deep samadhi. Other yogis, the way they revel in the self is to sing the Lord's praises. There's all those various kinds of practices that's listed in Gita. Literally at the mouth of the infinite, how people revel in the self, uniting the incoming with the outgoing breath, etc. All of those various things. There's no one way for the mind to revel in the self. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
ब्रह्माद्यालोकपालाश्रव वन्द्यशक्तियुता स्मृता सर्वदा सर्वसंस्थेन सर्वेण सह तिष्ठता. Brahma, the creator, and others, and the guardians of the world are regarded as endowed with attachment, which is commendable.
So these celestial beings, their attachment is to the infinite. They have their job. Brahma is always creating the worlds. Vishnu is preserving them. Rudra, the destroyer, is destroying the worlds and new ones come about. It's a metaphor. These are all states of consciousness. You may revel in the Lord by creating new things or sustaining or taking out the trash. Mini Rudra. You will find your way. Next verse.
सर्वकर्मरतेनापि मनः कार्यं विजानता न सक्तम् इह चेष्टासु न चिन्तासु न वस्तुषु. The mind ought to be made unattached to actions here, to thoughts and to objects as well, by the intelligent one, even though engaged in all actions, situated in all ways and all times, and living with everybody.
So, whatever your mode of living is, it doesn't matter. But inside, empty. Inside, always drinking deeply of the bliss of the self. What am I supposed to do? You'll know. The Prarabdha karma will make it clear. But if antithetically, I have to succeed at this, and I have to have this amount of money, and I have to hang on to these possessions, and I have to keep these people alive and around for me. Attachment, attachment, attachment. Even though the Lord is doing her job and everything is just fine, we suffer. Next one.
केवलं चितिविश्रम्य किञ्चिच्चेत्यावलम्ब्यपि सर्वत्र नीरसमिव तिष्ठत्वात्मरसम्मन. Reposing in pure consciousness alone, even though resorting to cognized objects to a certain extent. Let the mind abide in the delight of the self as if it were tasteless everywhere else.
Yes. So you hear me use the expression, for the person of steady wisdom, the world becomes just trinkets and baubles. Not jewels, pieces of colored glass. But the Sita Pragya, oh, she's the possessor of the Chintamani, the wish-fulfilling gem. Ramananda Rasa Swad, tasting the juice, oh yeah, of the bliss of Brahma. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord, the Hebrew psalmist said. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall always be in my mouth. My soul glories in the Lord, for he has done good things for me. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. A poem written by one who had the taste. Atmarama. And we shouldn't fool ourselves. This is one of the great values of being able to have sadhu sangha, association with real women and men of knowledge. Oh, I think I know so much. Then we get around a real saint who's so empty. And if we have the sensitivity to tune to, oh, this Mahatma I met in 2015, Bhuvaneshwarananda in Jaipur. Another one of his disciples asked him, well, what was your sadhana? He's a Kriya Yoga master. And his response was, I just sat at the feet of my guru, Ahari Baba, for 7 years. That's all he did. Till his mind was gone. Next verse.
तत्रस्थो विगता संगो जीवो जीवत्वमागत व्यवहारं व्यवहारम् imam sarvam न करोतु va. Abiding there in the pure consciousness, free from attachment, the individual soul or individualized consciousness has arrived at the state devoid of individuality. In such a state, let it do or not do all this action, it is of no consequence.
Yeah. So once the jnani is satisfied in the self, by the self, what they do or what they don't do makes no difference. Their actions are the force of the past and the desires of other people. Next verse.
अथवा तमपि त्यक्त्वा चेत्यांशं शान्तिचित्खना जीवतिष्ठतु संशान्तो ज्वलन् मणिरिवात्मनि. Or else, having abandoned even that part, consisting of the perceived world of objects, and remaining as the tranquil and full consciousness, let the individual soul stay thoroughly calm or satisfied in the self as a shining jewel. Note, the individual soul is likened to a shining jewel in the great splendor that is the undivided and pure consciousness or the self.
So here the reference is he may or she may be in samadhi and not do anything in the world. The saint that comes to my mind is Ananda Ma, who at times was so lost in samadhi she couldn't even eat. People had to feed her. Bhagawan Ramana Maharshi, for 11 years, didn't even speak. Finally, it was the desires of others who said, teach us, where he decided to start talking again. He was about, what, 27, 28 at that point. He's still very young. But after 11 years of complete silence, and always the real teaching is done in silence. Next verse.
एषैव रामसौ शुक्ति स्थिति अभ्यास योगत प्रौढा सती तुरीयेति कथिता तत्त्वकोविदैः. Rama, this is exactly the state of profound repose. When it is fully developed or perfected as a result of practice, it is described as the turiya or the fourth state of consciousness, transcending the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states by people learned in the truth principle.
Now there's two ways of approaching this term turiya. Gaudapada approaches it that it's just another name for the self itself. It is the fourth in the series of discussion. It is the consciousness in which the waking, dream, and deep sleep states occur. But it also can be interpreted as the state of mind of no mind. That deep self-abidance of the Mahatma. And I love what Krishna says. What is day to the yogi is night for other people. Yogis know of this. They revel in it. Ordinary people don't even know it exists. The ordinary people out there, what is day to them is night for the yogi. I want a better job. I want more money. I want a bigger house. I want a spouse. I want to get rid of the spouse. Bigger car, babies. And for the person of steady wisdom, blah, 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 blah. Meaning. Going on.
Yastum tasyam avasthayam sthitim prapya vinashinim anandaikantashilatvat ana ananandapadatkata anananda mahananda kalatita tatopi sa mukta ityuchyate yogi turyatita padam gata. Having obtained the imperishable condition in that state, Turiya, or the fourth state of consciousness, whoever has departed from the abode devoid of bliss on account of habituation to absolute bliss, and then transcended the parts of no bliss as well as great bliss, that yogin is spoken of as liberated and gone to the abode beyond Turiya.
So there's a lot of negation and achieving bliss and greater bliss and the no bliss and stuff like that. I think the easiest way to talk about these are post-enlightenment samadhis. They are not to be achieved by mere will or effort. In fact, if you're making efforts, you're not even a jnani yet. The mark of the jnani is she's given up struggle. But there's no end to how deeply the mind can abide in Brahman. And then what do we call the last conscious exit from the body, what we would call death of a yogi? What's the term we use?
Samadhi.
Mahasamadhi. Yeah. No more returning to this packet of sorrows. Next verse.
Jim, there's a note following these two
Oh, please
verses.
read it. Yes.
When the fourth state of consciousness, or the turiya, is attained, the yogin abides in his own real nature, which is being, consciousness, bliss. He becomes liberated while living. Even this state is transcended ultimately in the state called turiyatita, or beyond turiya. This is the absolute state of undivided consciousness entered into on liberation without the body.
Okay. When he dies. Yeah. Or she. And there's nothing left. Poof. Going on.
Drishya darshana nirmukta yanubhuti anamaya tamavashtamyatishtatvam saushuptim tam bhajastitim. You remain resting upon that perception, which is free from unhappiness and liberated from the seen and the seeing. Resort to that state of profound repose.
So there's a tension we will find in the scriptures. Here, the scripture is saying, practice samadhi, tune up your mind, revel in the self, drop the stupid world. Remember yourself. And if it be your karma for the mind to extrovert for work in the world, no blame. You remember, come home. And then later on, the scriptures will say, now renounce even the bliss of samadhi, meaning you can't be attached to it. There's no door. Then they become grace moments. You're smitten by samadhi. Next verse.
Na moksho na basa prishte na patale na bhutale sarva shasam kshaye cheta kshayo moksha itishyate. Liberation or final emancipation from transmigratory existence is not on the other side of the sky, nor in the netherworld, nor on the surface of the earth. The destruction of the thinking mind on the termination of all desires is regarded as liberation.
Yes. So moksha is here now. Or as Shankara says, it is the annihilation of the vasanas here and now. That's considered liberation by the wise. Giving up the thinking mind here. How am I doing? Am I okay? What do they think of me? I need fill in the blank. Mine. Einus and minus. In earlier chapters, Vasishtha has said the mind is three thoughts. I think I'm a person. I think there's a goal separate from me. The goal only takes two forms. I either need to change or fix the world, or I need to change or fix me. And kartavya, obligatory action, struggle, going from point A to point B. I'll be happy when. That is the mind. That's the only thing we need to give up. So simple in the end. Next verse.
Moksho me sthittvati chinta antajata chet antajata chetutittamam mana mananothe manasyuche bandha samsariko dridha. Let there be liberation for me If such a thought is caused within, the mind is raised or brought into existence. On the springing up of thinking in the mind intensely, the bondage of worldly existence becomes firm.
Yes. So even the thought, I am not liberated, I need to be liberated, that in itself becomes problematic. Now it's paradoxical. In the beginning, in our qualifications of a fit student, what's the fourth qualification? Mumukshutva, the burning desire for liberation. But once you are rooted in yourself, you know, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Chidananda Rupa, my nature is bliss consciousness. Then give up the mumukshu. Don't try to be an enlightened person. Forget the person and remember you are Brahman. Going on.
Atmanyatite sarvasmat sarvabhute thavattate ko bandha krashchava moksho nirmulam mananam kuru. In the self, which is beyond all definition, which has
Hang on,
become...
we've got noise going by. It's gone. Start the English again, please.
Sure. In the self, which is beyond all definition, which has become everything or spread everywhere, what is bondage or what is liberation? So, eradicate thinking or destroy the thoughts which veil the self.
Yeah. So remember, both bondage and liberation occur to the mind. What is my bondage? It is nothing more than the deeply rooted conviction that I'm bound, caused by spiritual ignorance. I think I'm the body. That experience, the term I've been using the past few weeks, has an existential impoverishment about it. I'm not enough, there's not enough. And that sets the whole painful journey of struggle in place. What is moksha? There is no other liberation than the deeply rooted conviction in the mind based on direct experience. Not that I'm a self-realized person, but I am Brahman. No personal sense of self is real. No personal goal is important. I cannot think a real thought. Only aham is real. Stop the mind and come home. You an enlightened person? I've given up thinking about it. Who cares? Next verse.
द्वन्द्वदोष भयात् मुक्त तीर्ण संसार सागर प्राप्तानुत्तमविश्रान्ति लब्धा लभ्य परास्पद. Be liberated from the fear of the evils of pairs of opposites, with the ocean of worldly existence passed over, unsurpassed repose won, and the unattainable supreme abode obtained.
Yes. So the dvandvas, the pairs of opposites, good and bad, right and wrong, just and unjust, successful, failure, lovable, unlovable, virtuous, vicious, enlightened, not enlightened, in bondage, not in bondage. All only myself, the self, is real. Next verse.
To one who is discriminating and perceiving the conscious spirit as distinct from the body, even if his limbs are cut off, nothing indeed is cut.
Oh, did I interrupt you before you finished the verse?
No, sorry, I read the Sanskrit in my mind prior, so.
It's all right.
Sharirat vyatiriktam yam pashyata pravivekina vikartitanga kasyapi nahi kimchit vikartitam. To one who is discriminating and perceiving the conscious spirit as distinct from the body, even if his limbs are cut off, nothing indeed is cut.
Yes. So I like to use this metaphor. So if you go to the barber shop or the beauty salon to get your hair cut, before you go in, you can take your hair, you can pull on it, it's attached to your head in a way. But then they go snip, 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 and the hair falls to the floor. And where is the locus of identity? You're not on the floor of the beauty salon going, oh, I'm cut off, I'm cut off, I'm cut off. So also, when death comes, the body falls away, but you go nowhere. Next verse.
Anubhuto guraswadu apidaha vikartanaihi न शक्यते न्यथा कर्तुं तत्त्वालोक तथात्मना. Jaggery, which has been experienced or tasted, is sweet, even by burning and cutting, or even after cutting and cooking. It cannot be made otherwise. So is the perception of the truth, or principle of the self, just as the cutting and burning of jaggery does not alter its innate sweetness. So, the perception of the self is not affected by the changes in the body, which is the vesture of the self.
Vesture here meaning like clothing. So once you see who you are, and once you've developed the capacity to taste of the self in your mind, and the circumstances of life, the circumstances of the body, none of it affects your capacity to revel in the self. How many more verses before we have a stopping point, an end of the section?
Um,
Quite a
a-
few?
quite a few.
Okay, we'll go another 10 minutes then.
Okay. Paravyasanini nari vyagrapi griha karmani tadevasvadayatyanta parasangarasayanam. A woman excessively attached to another person, though intently occupied with household affairs, tastes or enjoys within only that elixir of association with that other person or paramour.
So, we all know men never think about sex, it's only women. If you've had a good night of the mufti pufti and you're thinking about it the next day, while you're doing housework, taste of it is still in your mind. Now, of course, men would never have an experience like that. It's duty for us. But that's the idea. And for all of us, for the jnani, there may be times when they're very quiet in deep samadhi, but you never forget it. And remember what I call the ruthless rule of the mind. The mind returns to the experience that's given it the greatest joy. And if your greatest joy are things in this world, no blame. Your mind will continue to extrovert. But if even once, by God's grace, with the grace of the Guru, you have one of these deep experiences of the bliss of your own self nature, you'll never forget it. It's always a part of you that wants to get back there. Even if your mind is still extroverted in the world. Oh, yeah. Would love to be able to taste the bliss of the kiss of the mother. So keep on keeping on, be steadfast, don't regret the past. 2 parts. As Krishna says in Gita, when a person casts off all the desires of the mind, O Partha, and is satisfied in the self, by the self, then they're said to be Stita Prajna Purusha, a person of steady wisdom. It's all of yoga, it's right there. Going on.
Evam tatve pare shuddhe Dhiro Vishrantimagata Tadevasvatayatyanta Bahivyavaharannapi. Thus the resolute one who has arrived at repose in the pure and highest principle, or the self, tastes within only that, though dealing in business outwardly.
Yes. So the surface part of the mind is engaged with the world. But inside, always tasting the self. And even when a pleasurable experience comes, when desire and object of desire become one, their mind goes, ah, Krishna, 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 Chidananda Rupa. There's no ignorance. Oh, that was such a groovy thing in the world. Give me some more of it. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Going on.
Napekshate bhavishyatcha vartamane na tishtati na samsmaratyatitam cha sarvameva karoti cha. He does not wait or think of the future. He does not rest on or depend on the present. Nor does he remember with regret the past. But he does quite everything.
So on the outside, they may look just like an ordinary person doing very ordinary things. But the past is gone. They may make plans, but no concern or worry about the future. And no issues about the present. Supremely detached. Asangwam, 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 puna punaha, sachidanandrupam, aham evaham, yaya. Next verse.
Bhakte bhakta samachara shate shat iva sthita balo baleshu vruddheshu vruddho dhireshu dhairyavan yuva yovana vritteshu dukhiteshu sadukhadihi. He has the conduct of a devotee towards a devotee of God. He remains like a rogue towards a rogue. He is a child among children, an old man among old men, a courageous one among the brave, a youth among people of youthful conduct, and of sorrowful mind among the distressed.
So the mind of the Sthita Prajna is flexible and free. And they are appropriate to whatever life situation comes along. They don't have to plan it out. It's all spontaneous. Most of the time, most people don't even know they are yogis. But if an earnest student presents herself in the wonderful dance begins, where that divine vision is transmitted to a fit student. Absolutely a precious, precious thing. All right, we'll end here tonight. What verse are we on for next week?
We finished 39. I think next week we started 40.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.